All right, on day 8, we had to do a little bit of recon for some activities we're going to be doing later in the week. So we went over to the airport and watched the plane take off. It blew all these people on the beach away and blew rocks and dirt all over them. It was pretty funny. They've got a big sign on the side of the road there that says, be careful. These planes taking off can cause severe physical damage, extremely body injuries, and even death. They've also got a big sign on the side of the road that tells you when all the planes are going to be landing so that you can witness the close arrivals. We'll be doing that later this week. After that, we went around the corner to the Casino Royale. We're both from Las Vegas, and we love playing poker, so we wanted to check out what kind of opportunities we had to possibly play some poker down here in the Caribbean. Unfortunately, though, this place was dead. It was empty. There was nobody there. There was a dry erase board in the poker room that told us there would be some tournaments on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So we took that down, and we're going to come back later in the week to check that out. And for lunch that day, we went to Captain's Rib Shack over on the main drag. This is kind of an open air environment. Everyone's been telling us how good the food is here. So it's just a couple doors down from our hotel. So we decided to go over there. Hi, Cindy. And, just put in a quick order and take the food back to our nice, cold, air-conditioned room that's not so muggy and sweaty like it is out here on the main street. And here they got some rice and some macaroni and cheese, some potatoes au gratin. Over on this side, I got some, I don't know what those are, and all kinds of good stuff in here. But I'll show you what we got in our room. All right, so first up, we got these jerk wings, Cajun jerk spicy wings, yummy. Next, we got the macaroni and cheese dish, delicioso. And we got the scalloped potatoes, always goes good with barbecue. And then last but not least, we got a whole rack of ribs here with some sauce. And we've been told these are the best ribs around, so looking forward to testing that theory. Here we go. All right, everybody, so today we thought it'd be really fun to go see a movie in a foreign country and kind of see how it differs from how it is back home. So we chose to go see the new Spider-Man movie, Across the Universe, because we love the first one so much. And honestly, Cindy and I were pretty skeptical going into this. We didn't know whether or not it was going to meet the standard of the first one because
it was so
the
good.
First one was a masterpiece. When we saw the first one, we could not believe afterwards. The music was great. The animation was incredible. The story was great. The writing was just incredible. And it ended up winning an Academy Award for Best Animated Picture for that year. So we went into this one really skeptical that they were going to be able to bring it like they did on that first one. And
I thought it was either going to hit or miss.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was like, okay, I was expecting the worst, very much so.
But we'll go ahead and tell you right now, this one was amazing as well. We had the exact same experience we had with the first one. I don't know how many times I just turned to Cindy during the movie and said, look at the animation. The animation is beautiful. The animation is amazing.
And it really set the mood. Like the background of everything like changed with the mood in the movie.
They did a beautiful job coming up with a gripping story to keep you engaged. A lot of times I fall asleep in movies because they're just not keeping me engaged. But this one, I was wide awake the whole time.
You brought the story up, and usually, like when it's a sequel, the second story bombs.
Yeah.
But this story was amazing. The writers, props to the writers.
And once again, we're introduced to a whole plethora of new Spider-Men and women that are just fantastic. So much fun, great writing, humor was on point. The music once again was on point, and the animation was great again. I'd say right now this is another contender for the animated movie of the year for the Oscar. I'd be shocked to see something beat this again. All right, so that was the movie experience. We absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen either of those yet, do yourself a favor and go see some of the best Spider-Man movie content out there. It's really great.
I was a skeptic for the first one because it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can a cartoon match up to Peter Parker?
Yeah, exactly.
And it does.
It does. And there's so many great Easter eggs across all of Spider-Man's history sprinkled out through the movie.
We probably missed a few because it goes so fast.
So many. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some YouTube videos out there pointing out all the Easter eggs from this movie, and I can't wait to watch those. All right, so we've talked about the movie. Let's talk about the movie experience. The theater, the first thing we ran into was the escalators that take you from the parking garage up to the theater were broken, so we had to walk up a really steep set of stairs, but it is what it is.
I thought the parking garage was going to be underneath it, but it was off to the
Yeah,
side.
it's adjacent to it.
Because if you look at it, it looks the Caribbean cinema sign is above it.
Yeah.
So it's like on the second story. So something is underneath it. I don't know what.
Exactly. So Caribbean cinema, like Cindy says, apparently they serve all the islands down here in the Caribbean. One of our questions was, man, is this movie going to be in English, or are we going to have to read subtitles? But yeah, everything was in English. The trailers, the movie, all that kind of stuff was all in English, so we were happily surprised there. And let's point out some of the things that we noticed when we got there. First off, we were in line to get concessions, and I was pleasantly surprised at how affordable all the concessions were. I thought they were going to be very expensive, because what we've run into on the island so far is that it's very expensive for food and stuff here, because everything has to be imported, but it was really good.
It was comparable to the movie prices back home for popcorn and sodas.
Or less. I think in some cases it was cheaper. We both tried the hot dogs, and they were probably the best movie theater hot dogs we've ever had. I've got some footage here showing the artisan type buns that they put them on that are nice and soft, and they were so delicious. And one of the condiments that they have on hand here that everyone was putting on their hot dogs was mayonnaise. So we tried it. And
it was tasty.
Yeah, it was tasty. So we figured, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. We put some mayo on our hot dog, and it was delicious. So shout out to the theater for having really good hot dogs. The popcorn was not the best popcorn I've ever had. We probably ate maybe an eighth of it and set it to the side.
I'm a popcorn snob, because this whole last year I helped my school popcorn to sell it for a fundraiser, and I would buy 10 bags at a time from my school, and so I know good popcorn. Gourmet.
So, hot dogs were great. Popcorn was okay. One thing that was also a little different is they provide these quote-unquote trays that people use to carry their food / drinks and everything that they bought from concessions to their chairs. That was kind of neat. We don't see that too often.
They were actually booster seats, though.
Yeah, it turns out they were booster seats.
They had the real ones that hold the... Sorry to interrupt, because they're talking about... They had the real ones that hold the cups and like an area for that, and they were black. But the booster seats were blue. And on the side, it had like a little koala bear saying, "This is your booster seat."
Yeah, so we saw everybody else doing it, so we followed suit. And
also, there's these, because the chairs were leather, there were like strips of vinyl or like Velcro or something, so it wouldn't slip.
Huh.
Because if you put plastic on leather like that, it can go back and forth.
Okay. So that was kind of interesting. Let's see, what else? So next, let's talk about the audience. The audience was a little different than what we're used to as well. First thing, there were a lot of people in the theater talking throughout the movie, like not whispering either, just talking.
Just talking normally.
Like you would if you were sitting on the couch
at your house,
talking to people next to you, which at first was a little annoying, but then we realized, you know what, we're in a foreign country and this is how they do it, so we're just going to focus on the movie and enjoy it and not let that bother us.
And one thing Ryan pointed out when we were walking into the aisle, there's more space, but like between the next seat in front of you.
Nice.
That was kind of nice.
Normally in American theaters, they squeeze everybody so tightly that you have to almost stand up so people can walk by you to get by you. But in this case, there was plenty of room.
The other thing that I noticed in the movie theater itself is that there was only one aisle to go up. Usually in the States, there's 2 aisles to go up to the seats.
In some theaters.
But the type of theater room that we were in.
The ones we go to most regularly.
Yeah.
The next thing about the crowd that was interesting to me was that everyone kind of showed up late. There's a whole sequence at the beginning of the movie that kind of tells us what's going on with Gwen's character and what she's doing in the multiverse. And then it kicks to the intro of the movie. Well, there was at least, how many people you think showed up after that?
I want to say 20.
Yeah, 20 people showed up in the theater after that.
A whole family of 3 walked in front of us and sat at the end.
And I just remember turning to Cindy and going, they're not going to know what's going on with Gwen. They're not going to get any of that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just them. There were people showing up late from the beginning of the movie till at least 20, 30 minutes into the movie. There were people showing up late. So that was kind of weird. Normally, most people, I'm used to seeing theaters pretty packed at the beginning of a movie because nobody wants to miss anything. So that was interesting too. Again, it must be a cultural thing. Maybe down here, everyone kind of just does things on their own time. And when they get there kind of thing. It doesn't bother me at all. It was just weird to see people constantly coming in after the movie had started.
You know how after the movie you have to go to the bathroom because you've drank all your soda and whatnot?
Yeah.
So I go into the bathroom and I go to wash my hands, and the faucet has the round circle with like a thing on it, and you push it in the States. So I'm trying to push it to turn the water on. You push in, it runs for 30. You put, and I'm like, I must be really weak. It's not working. And a little girl next to goes, "Ma'am, you have to turn it." And so I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, just a little bit of plumbing differences.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a fun experience. I'm glad we went and saw it again. It was an A+ movie. It was fun to just kind of delve into a different culture's way of going to the movies. That was great. And that was it for the movie experience. So, Cindy, thank you for joining me. That was a great experience.
It was a great day.
And shout out to the Caribbean Theaters for giving us a good experience. All right.
Caribbean Cinemas.
Oh, sorry. And that pretty much wraps up day 8 for us. All right, we are no longer on the island of Sint Maarten. We have abandoned the island and moved over to the island next door. This is the beautiful island of Anguilla. It is a part of the British Commonwealth, so we are now in England. So how about that? We're going to go spend the day here exploring and seeing what their beaches are all about, having some good food, and just having a good time, relaxing. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so we had to leave our hotel and head over to the town of Marigot to catch the ferry that would take us over to Anguilla. Before you get on the ferry, you have to go through customs, get your passport stamped, pay all your fees, that kind of stuff. And the ferry was pretty big. What did it hold? You see a capacity?
64.
64 people. It's a pretty good-sized ferry. And the ride across took us about, I don't know, what?
30 minutes maybe tops, maybe. 25, 30.
Yeah, once they got it cranked up in the open ocean, we got over there pretty quick. It's a pretty straight shot straight across from Marigot over to Blowing Harbor in Anguilla. The folks sitting next to the doors on the boat got a little bit of splash from the, whenever we go over some big waves, they get some splash through the doors. That was always kind of fun. Then we arrived over at Anguilla at the Welcoming Center. Had to go through customs yet again, get everything stamped. All right, so Cindy's in the driver's seat, but they didn't give her a steering wheel over there. So we're in England now, driving on the wrong side of the road over here. So this is going to be an adventurous day, trying to remember just to drive into oncoming traffic.
I kept singing, to the left, to the left.
That's right. She had to keep reminding me to stay on the left side of the road. Now, I wish our adventure to Shoal Bay was as easy as that map just made it look, but we got out here on the roads, and we were doing some old school navigating because we did not have GPS on our phones. We didn't turn our phones on for this country, so we were going old school with the maps. Cindy's doing a heck of a job navigating us around the island. She's doing a good job, baby.
Put your phone away and drive.
Doing a great drive. Got the map out. Doing this old school. So despite our every effort to get lost, Cindy still did a great job navigating us there, and we ended up at one of the most beautiful beaches in Anguilla called Shoal Bay.
And it only took us 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah. I tell you what, when you're back in the States and you're thinking about what you want to do when you go to the Caribbean, this is everything you dream of right here. You want these white sandy beaches, no big waves, just crystal clear waters. You want a beach chair and an umbrella and just peace and paradise. This was really overwhelmingly beautiful when we got there. After we parked, we made our way down to the beach. They had a really nice restaurant here right next to where we were going to be setting up shop. And Cindy went over and met up with the guy who rents out the scuba gear and the snorkeling gear and the towels and the beach chairs and all that kind of stuff. And she made sure to get all the information from him so that we could get set up with a good spot on the beach.
Here I am talking to him. He's asking me which umbrella I want.
Yeah.
Okay, $10, right?
All right.
At the restaurant to take credit
Credit
cards.
cards. Okay.
awesome.
What's your name, you said?
Cindy.
I'm Ray.
Ray. So we got set up on our beach chair and our umbrella, and just took a second to take it all in because it was just so awesome. Just so everything we wanted.
It wasn't crowded at all.
No, that was really nice.
It was so nice.
There was like absolutely no waves, just so peaceful. We met so many cool people who were visiting Anguilla that day. Folks from Trinidad and Tobago. I think I met someone from Memphis.
Yeah.
Can you remember any of the other folks?
No.
Oh, Texas. We met some folks from Texas as well, down there in Dallas. Quiet. It was midday when we got there, so we had to make sure we wore our big hats to keep the sun off of our faces and skin.
Ryan is ever the gentleman, making sure I had my hat.
That's right.
Thank you.
Look at my beautiful mermaid.
Does my hat look okay?
Your hat looks gorgeous. Almost as gorgeous as this beach.
Is it shading my shoulders and my ears?
It's definitely getting your ears,
Yeah,
your
that's
face,
my big thing is my ears and my face.
your chest.
I'm going to be wearing it a lot.
Fish. There's a fish by your foot right there. Big
Oh,
one.
wow, yeah. There's one by you too right here.
Yeah?
Look straight down.
All the fish were like blending in with the sand. You can only see them when you can see their shadows. It was really crazy. And there were some schools of them swimming around. Someone else said they saw a stingray. We spent about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, just chilling out in the water. And I don't even think I sat on my deck chair once.
I don't.
We were either in the water or up at the restaurant the whole time we were there. We talked about possibly going to another location on Anguilla, but this one was just so perfect. We didn't want to waste any time. We had a very limited amount of time before we had to get back on the boat. After a while, we went over to the Mandiraman restaurant that was right next to where we were set up and got ourselves a little bit of lunch. They had some just free-range chickens walking around. We joked a little bit about Cindy eating chicken for lunch.
I couldn't help but feed him.
Cindy, your lunch is ready. I got the cod fritters with French fries and a salad.
And I got the fried chicken with barbecue sauce with mashed potatoes. Amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
So good.
I liked her chicken better than I liked my cod fritters, but I put some hot sauce on those cod fritters, and it knocked them right out of the park. We had a few hours left before we had to leave to catch the ferry back to Sint Maarten, so we just went right back in the water after we got done eating, and just enjoyed as much of it as we could. Like I say, time seemed to go pretty fast because we just didn't want to leave. It was so beautiful. The visibility underwater is crazy. You can see people up to 40 feet away. In a minute, you'll see this. Yeah, you can see the bodies way over there. People just, you can see that fish down there swimming. You see the shadow. Just beautiful, clear water. It was, I wouldn't say warm, but it was maybe in the high 60s, low 70s as far as the water temperature.
Oh, there I am.
The boat made some waves. My GoPro, after it comes out of the water, needs a few minutes for the microphone to clear all the way up. Don't think that's what the song is about.
This is paradise. Well, take me down to the paradise city.
That's right.
Where the beach is standing and the colors are pretty.
And unfortunately, we could not afford to get stuck here, so we had to make sure we got back across the island in time to catch the ferry. So we had to end it there. All right, well, as much as we hate to do it, we got to leave this paradise and head back to the docks because the last ferries for the day leave at 5 o'clock, and we do not want to miss the last ferry. It's been an absolutely amazing day here over in Anguilla, chilling on the beach over here at Shoal Bay. And probably the highlight of our trip so far, other than that boat trip that we took. But this has been pretty amazing. So.
Yeah, this is up there. We'll see
Man.
what tomorrow holds. We have
Right.
a fun day planned for tomorrow.
That's right. So tune back in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Overall, just an amazing experience, and I could totally see us coming back to Anguilla one day.
Oh, definitely.